It was one of the most annoying mobile games ever released, and in 2014 Flappy Bird finally made its way over to the Commodore 64. But is it worth downloading? Watch as we find out. I've always loved the fact that Commodore 64 developers have kept pushing the boundaries of what can be done with the machine, both technically and in terms of gameplay. Sarah Jane Avery is one such developer. Her shoot 'em up Neutron was a fantastic example of what could be crammed into just 16K, and its upcoming follow-up, Soul Force, is set to deliver an epic console quality shooter for the C64 when it's finally released. Then we get coders bringing us ports of games we never thought possible, like Super Mario Bros. And the upcoming Limbo, technically impressive feats and true showcases of what the C64 is really capable of. But then there's the rest. Games converted to the C64, not because it's a challenge to do so, or because gamers have wanted to see them ported over, but just because they can. And thanks to that, we've ended up with this conversion of Flappy Bird. Flappy Bird is certainly a controversial and divisive game. Despite being one of the most successful releases on Android and iOS, not everyone was a fan. With its never-ending supply of randomly generated levels, you were guaranteed that no two games would be the same, and its simple single-button gameplay wowed millions of fans, addictive to the basic time waster. And at the same time, even more were baffled by its popularity, myself included. Ignoring the obvious question why, onto the C64 port, and I've got to admit that it's an impressive accomplishment. The game has been crammed into just 8K, and it looks, feels and plays exactly the same as its mobile counterpart. Despite the slightly chunky visuals and subdued, almost washed out look to the colour scheme, it's recreated the original superbly. And to be honest, that's its biggest weakness. It's just as annoying as the Android and iOS version, and your first few attempts at play while you get used to the controls and game physics will leave you so frustrated that you'll be pushed to persevere with it. But, just like the mobile versions, for some bizarre reason, you find yourself wanting to. So I did, and that's what genuinely surprised me. Despite the controls feeling a little sluggish and unresponsive at first, I still ended up playing this for well over half an hour on my first session, definitely far longer than I expected. And even though most of those games lasted barely a few seconds, I kept going back for one more go. Mobile games do have a lot to answer for. While a lot of gamers are quick to dismiss games like Flappy Bird and the endless flow of match 3 titles, there's something to be said for the relaxing simplicity of them. They're easy to pick up and play, and in the case of C64 ports, are a great way to introduce a system to people who aren't usually interested in retro gaming. Just show them a game or genre they're already familiar with, and it's easy to get them hooked in. But back to Flappy Bird, and I have to admit that I did enjoy playing it. It's not going to go down in history as a classic piece of C64 gaming, but it's a fun diversion for a while. If you weren't a fan of the mobile version, then this port won't change your mind anytime soon. But if you enjoyed that or similar casual games, or if you're just curious about it, then give it a try, and you might be pleasantly surprised. It's available as a free download from itch.io, and the link to download it is in the description.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click on the like button and leave us a comment below. Also, spare a moment to share this video on Twitter, Facebook and all your social media pages. To get updates on all of our latest videos delivered straight to your inbox, subscribe now using the link on the screen.